Snow in Iron County causes slippery road conditions, the protection of old-growth forests in Utah, and the BLM is asking for help from local birdwatchers.
You're watching St. George News at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Amy Bennett. A blanket of snow covered Iron County on Thursday morning, resulting in almost a dozen slide-offs and even causing a school bus to crash. Here's Cody Blowers with more on the crashes and the snowy conditions.
Heavy snowfall and icy roads, starting from Beaver south through Iron and Washington counties on Thursday morning, created havoc on Interstate 15, where Utah Highway Patrol troopers were kept busy dealing with nearly a dozen crashes along the interstate starting at about 6:30 a.m., including one crash involving a school bus carrying 11 children, none of whom were injured, and UHP Sergeant Cameron Roden told St. George News that the driver was able to move the bus off the roadway and out of the way of traffic. Later, a multi-semi pileup was reported on I-15 near Cedar City shortly after 11 a.m., a crash that closed down the northbound side of the interstate for more than an hour. As the storm continued, there were several crashes reported along outlying highways across Iron County as well.
Thanks, Cody. Utah state legislatures have brought back a bill challenging clergy penitent privilege in a bid to address child protection concerns. Now let's turn it to Maury Kessler with more on the bill.
Legislation proposed by Democrat State Representative Brian King aims to educate clergy to the fact there are no legal prohibitions on reporting alleged incidents of child abuse that is given to them during a parishioner's confession. Moreover, King said he is open to amending the bill, which is House Bill 131, to include legal protections for clergy against potential civil suits if they report suspected child abuse. Utah is currently one of 33 states that has clergy penitent privilege, which allows the contents of confessions with clergy to remain confidential and exempts clergy from reporting on crimes that may be confessed to them. Many attempts have been made over the years by Utah lawmakers to remove this exemption, yet have ultimately failed to advance in the legislature. Among the chief opponents of such bills has been the Roman Catholic Church and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Thanks, Maury. Renowned for its stunning landscapes and a backdrop for blockbuster films, Southern Utah is poised for increased economic activity with a new bill making its way through state legislature. Here's Stephanie DeGraw with more on the potential financial boost for Utah.
The Motion Pictures Incentive Bill for Rural Productions is in the spotlight at the Utah legislature. House Bill 0078 comes as Utah celebrates 100 years of movie productions. The bill's sponsor, Representative Jeffrey Sinquist, had this to say.
People think that this is money going to Hollywood, but really it's money that's being spent in, for jobs, for Utahns, for, buying things here in Utah, services, the restaurants, the hotels, and hiring people here in Utah. So the money really is going to Utahns.
In an attempt to restore southern Utah's old-growth forest, the United States Forest Service is launching a plan to protect these aged forests. Here's Alicia Lundgren with more on this federal initiative.
The U.S. Forest Service has proposed to amend all 128 National Forest System plans to promote the conservation and restoration of mature and old-growth forests, including the plans that govern Dixie and Fish Lake National Forests. The Grand Canyon Trust's Mike Popejoy said old-growth forests offer many benefits, including carbon storage, wildlife habitat, and appealing aesthetics.
From my perspective, old-growth forests they're amazing for wildlife habitat, cultural value, carbon storage, just aesthetically. That's speaking for myself, you're around an old-growth tree, whether it's a pinyon, juniper, ponderosa, they're just impressive organisms.
The Forest Service is accepting comments on the proposal until February 2nd.
Thanks, Alicia. The Bureau of Land Management is calling all Utah birdwatchers to help aid them in the Raptor Inventory Nest Survey. Help by joining the BLM in protecting and monitoring Utah's raptors. There is no specific background needed, so if you would like to sign up, visit the article on St. George News and click the link at the bottom. They will also be holding training workshops in February and March, so grab your binoculars and help preserve Utah's beautiful birds. Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. I'm Amy Bennett with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5.